everyone. This is Teresa Perkins, your host of Exposure Spotlight Magazine Talk Show, where your voice matters. We are excited to have a special guest on today. He is a writer, director, producer, and building his entertainment empire. He's making it his mission to open closed doors for other gifted people of color. If you're one of Netflix customers, then you might already know the work he has produced, the slasher film thriller. He is the president of DJ Classic Productions, an independent production company he founded, which generates edgy, young, adult-driven film and television projects for international audience. He served as the executive producer for 10 episodes of the limited series crime drama Rebel on BET. He worked alongside one of his industry heroes, the late iconic director, John Singleton. I am honored to introduce to you the one, and he is the only, Dalla Jackson. Dallas, welcome to Exposure Spotlight Magazine Talk Show. We are so honored to have you here. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. That's a very, very humbling intro, and I love it at the same time, so thank you.
You're more than welcome. Look, I had an opportunity to learn a lot about you, and I'm so excited. We got a few things that we can talk about, but before we get into that, I want to know, how did you actually get involved in the entertainment film industry? Where did it all derive from?
Well, it derived from my desire from high school to want to pursue film and TV. My biggest influences were Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle, which was a big inspiration for me as a kid, and also School Days from Spike Lee, and A Different World, the television show. So all those things kind of motivated me to want to go to Howard. Went to Howard and majored in TV and film, and made some really good friends there that are still in the business right now. Marlon Wayans and Anthony Anderson, fellow alumni, that we met on the campus at Howard. And I moved to Los Angeles after graduating, and got a job at a movie studio called Savoy Pictures. And that's where I learned the insight of how a movie studio works, and particularly how to write a screenplay for a studio. And so from there, I wrote a screenplay with a Howard alumni named Ken Rance, and we sold that to 20th Century Fox. And I got a manager out of that named Topper Carew, who managed Martin Lawrence at the time, and created Martin's show, and he was also a Howard alumni. And we sold 3 more projects to 20th Century Fox, and that officially was the journey as a screenwriter and getting my start in the business as a writer, as a member of the Writers Guild of America, and officially working for studios.
Oh, awesome. So from there, I mean, because all of us as a kid, we watch TV, we go to these films, these theaters and movies, and all we can think of, I want to be just like them. So did you find yourself, doing that?
Yeah, I mean, we all have inspirations as kids, depending upon what we want to do or be in life. Some people are inspired by basketball players or boxers, or now kids are inspired by Obama or Maxine Waters. And I was inspired by filmmakers. In particular, legends like Sidney Poitier, who became a director, and Gordon Parks, who directed Shaft. And, as I said, Robert Townsend and Spike Lee and Keenan Ivory Wayans were big influences on me. Keenan, doing In Living Color, and also doing movies like I'ma Get You Sucker, was, seeing that he could transfer from film to TV was enlightening to see a black man make a movie and then make a hit TV show. So all these things were, inspirations to me. And, you mentioned my friend John Singleton. He was an inspiration and a hero of mine before I even met him. And he opened a lot of doors for a lot of people. And so that's my mission now. From, the gift he left me was to create opportunities for other people through the work, through film, through writing and directing.
Okay. So how did you meet John Singleton? How did you guys meet?
We met, I was invited to a party Lee Daniels was having for The Butler. He had an Oscar party for The Butler. And actually Leon Isaac Kennedy from the Penitentiary movies asked me if I wanted to go. Me and Mr. Kennedy had met and were talking about doing some stuff together. And when we got to this party that Lee Daniels was having, it was around Oscar season, Leon Isaac Kennedy, introduced me to John and said, "This young brother, you should meet him, talk to him, John. He's doing things." And he told me, this is an OG in the game. You guys should get together and do something. And we talked first. And, John asked me where I went to college, and I said Howard. And he said he wanted to go to Howard, but he went to USC. And I said I applied to USC, but it was too much money. And Howard gave me money to swim. So we kind of kicked it off right there, and we had a mutual love for film and some of the same movies and comic books and sci-fi. He and I were both big Star Wars geeks, and we just bonded from there. And a couple weeks later, I gave him the script for Rebel, which was something I was developing with my wife, who wrote it. And he said, I want to help you get this made. And he kept his word to that.
Okay, that's great. Now let's talk about the film, The System. I got a chance to see the trailer, which is really awesome. It is a must-see for those who haven't seen it. Now, as a writer, I want to know.
Thank you.
Yes. Why was the film called The System?
Well, because we have a system that's in place to entrap Black and brown men into the criminal system. And as many inmates and people on the inside say, they've been trapped by the system. The system is designed, particularly the private prison system, to entrap Black and brown men into these institutions so that they can turn a profit. There's more prisons being built in this country, private prisons, than colleges. And private prisons are ran by corporations. They're not state regulated. The prison system used to be regulated by the state government. Now it's regulated by private companies whose bottom line is to turn a profit. So they have this system in place, which is the private prison system, to entrap Black and brown bodies into this system so that they can turn a profit and continue to build these private prisons. And if you don't have bodies in a prison, one run by a corporation, you can't turn a profit. So what do? You create a system to get these bodies into these institutions. And that was the message I wanted to send with the movie. And so we called it The System.
Okay. Well, I kind of figured that it was based on some reality. Of course, I wanted to hear it from you. What was your reason for calling it that? Now, how did you end up working with Tyrese Gibson, or why were they chosen actually to play the major role in this film, along with Terrence Howard?
Yes, well, Terrence and Tyrese are both gifted actors, box office superstars, and we're also all bonded by John Singleton. Terrence did Hustle and Flow, which John produced. He did Four Brothers, which he directed and wrote, that Tyrese and Terrence both starred in those movies. And, I did Rebel with John. So we had this fraternity of John Singleton, this bond. And so when the movie was greenlit and we were making offers to talent, the first person I talked to was Tyrese, because he and I had met through John, and John wanted us to do a movie together. So this was our tribute to John. And also, a way for us to continue the legacy of John of making an action movie with a message. Making everything John did, he infused some medicine into the sugar. He infused a message into what he was doing, and we felt like we could do that with this movie. And Terrence came in last minute, replaced another actor whose deal didn't work out, and that part was meant for him. He was incredible in the movie, and also his bond with John just extended to us as well. And of course, Tyrese and Terrence had worked together as well, as I mentioned, on Four Brothers. So they already had chemistry together. And it was just an amazing way of John kind of still being in our hearts and minds and bringing us together to do this movie.
Okay. Well, look, I don't think you really could have found any better actors than Tyrese and Terrence. I mean, those are definitely two icons within themselves. But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was lucky to I'd be blessed to get one of them, but to get sometimes God is greater than what you imagine.
Amen on that, for sure. Now, another thing I want to ask you is, of course, I'm sure you faced some type of challenges in producing and directing that film. Can you share some of those as well? Or did you have any challenges?
Well, every movie has a challenge. Every movie has, hurdles and obstacles. And that's one thing John always told me. So every production you have, there's going to be a problem. The battle is identifying what that problem is so you know how to solve it. But, our biggest hurdle on this movie was that we shot in a live prison. We shot in an active penitentiary. So, there were real inmates inside. We had to stop shooting sometimes so they could take prisoners next to the mess hall or to their cells and chains. Mm-hmm. We were able to employ 6 inmates on the movie as PAs. So there was a constant balancing act of talking to the warden of the real prison we were in, making sure we were respectful to the prison we were in, but also being able to shoot the movie that we needed to shoot. So that was a tricky thing to, balance, which was shooting in a live prison and making a prison movie.
Yeah.
It added a level of authenticity that you couldn't have created elsewhere on a set or a stage. But at the same time, every day was a challenge, and then on top of that, we were still dealing with COVID, even though this was a time where, people were vaccinated or could get vaccinated. You're still in a prison, and luckily for us, that prison had not had COVID related problems, and we didn't want to bring that in there as well. So it was a lot of challenges on top of the fact that we were shooting in a real prison.
Right. How long did it take you all to shoot that particular film? The system.
We shot it in about 22 days.
The entire film?
The entire film, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Independent movies, you usually shoot between 20 and 30 days. Mm-hmm. On a big studio movie, it's usually between 30 and 60 days. You don't have that luxury when you're shooting an independent movie, so you usually wrap out, you prep for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then you're usually wrapped out in about 4 weeks.
Okay. So let me ask you this: is the film is it in the theaters, or is it?
The film came out October 28th in select theaters, and it ran for 2 weeks, and it is currently on Apple. And Amazon, and on demand. You can get it at home and watch it on your couch over the holidays. You can get it rent it, or you can buy it. So it's at Amazon Prime, it's at Apple TV, iTunes, and it's also on demand on your cable station or however you get TV through your cable provider, DirecTV. You can get it on demand.
All right. Well, great. Definitely at the end of this conversation, I will place that on there so that people can know how they can see it. Definitely,
Thank you.
because the trailer, like I said, is awesome. So I definitely want to see it, the full thing. Just even watching the trailer wasn't enough for me. I was like, okay, I got to find time to watch this. So, like you said, the holidays is a great opportunity to be, to see it. Now,
Yes, you can watch it up next week while you're home making turkey and dressing. You can watch the system.
right. Now, look, I read one of your passages and it stated, I try to start off my movies with a bang.
Mm-hmm.
So, from in the beginning, and then you can stay with it in the end. Because you got some movies, of course, they start off, where you got to kind of figure out some things. So tell me this, explain to us why you say that.
Well, I like to get the audience's attention right away. Whether it's with an incident or a piece of action or something exciting or crazy or dangerous. But you have to start off your movie in a way where people will lean in right away. I don't believe in movies that you slowly open up on. Some you can, but you got to do something right away. People pay their money, or their attention span is short, or they're looking at their phones. So I like to write stuff where it starts off, right away with something cool.
You're going to stay right there in your seat, not go nowhere, huh?
Yeah, you're going to stay right there and go, oh, I got to keep watching this. And that's definitely the way I start off the system when you watch it.
So the type of films, you always like to do thrillers, horror films, actions? Is that basically your type of, I guess you could say, films that you like to produce?
Yes, I like to do genre movies, sci-fi movies, horror movies, and action movies with people of color. We need that more. We need more of us in those movies.
All right.
Tyler Perry does his thing, and Spike Lee does his thing, and
then we have Dalla
Anton
Jackson.
Fuqua does his thing, and my thing is to do genre movies.
Okay. There are a lot of young, aspiring filmmakers out there. And one thing that Exposure Spotlight likes to do is to set a platform or to help those that are looking for opportunities, whether it's for them to be an artist, a producer, or writer, or what have you. What is it? And I applaud you again for everything that you're doing. It's great. It's amazing. But I love to give advice to those who's trying to or want to be in the footsteps that you're in, as well as all these other producers and filmmakers. What advice can you give those that are watching and viewing the show right now?
Do the work. Be consistent. None of this happens overnight. None of this happens magically. It's because you will it and because you put in the work and the hours. You want to be a writer, then get Final Draft, the screenplay writing program, get the book, The Hero's Journey, and plan on writing 2 hours a day for 5 years. Take time out. If you want to be a director, go study other directors, get into a place where you could do the work and do a short film, and be consistent towards wanting to do something 1 to 2 hours a day towards that goal. And you have to make a 2 or 3 year plan, because this doesn't happen in a few weeks or 6 months or a year. It is a plan that is consistent and work and being dedicated to the craft. If you want to be a producer, go out and start finding some scripts, find some writers, and work with them on their script, and go try to shoot something. Go try to get a little money. Nowadays, you can shoot stuff on your phone and edit it. Mm-hmm. So there's no excuse not to find ways to dedicate yourself to the path you want to be on. The key is to be consistent and spend 2 hours a day at least towards your goal. You spend 2 hours a day watching TV. You spend 2 hours a day on Instagram. You spend 2 hours a day eating McDonald's. Spend 2 hours a day towards your dream and watch what happens.
Right. I agree with you 100%. And we know we have to work hard at the things that we're striving to become and to do. I'm a true believer that nothing good comes easy. So when you want something, you work hard on it. But what projects
Yes, ma'am.
are there any particular projects that we can expect from Dalla Jackson, the producer, the writer, the director, anything coming up soon?
Well, you have the system that's out now, and
Right.
you can enjoy that. And I have a movie on Netflix called Welcome to Sudden Death, which you can also watch right now, starring Michael Jai White. And also, I'll be shooting a new movie in March with the RZA, who is founder of the Wu-Tang Clan and has starred in several movies himself as a director and star. So we'll be doing a action movie in March in London. And also I'm developing a television show with the executive producer of The Blacklist. So we're working on bringing a new kind of black action hero in the sci-fi space to network TV, hopefully in 2023.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. Now, where are you originally from, Dallas?
I'm originally from Colorado,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Denver, and I left Denver when I was 17 and went to Howard.
Okay. And then you moved to California.
I moved to Los Angeles about 6 months after graduating from Howard.
Okay. Awesome. Well, it's a big difference with the weather, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's 23 degrees in Denver today, and it's about 80 degrees here in LA. So I'm happy where I'm at.
Oh, look, I understand. I'm in Louisiana, so we have some cold weather here as we speak. But is there anything else that you would like to share with our listening audience before ending our conversation, which I truly have enjoyed?
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed it as well. I'm going to get back to my kids' soccer games here in Los Angeles. It's the season finale games today. But I'll just say that, if you have a dream in your heart and you want to be anything, lawyer, doctor, accountant, game coder, writer, producer, director, be consistent with that dream, as I mentioned, and take the time out for yourself to make that dream happen. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to make anything happen for you except for you. You have to be the one to make your goals and dreams happen. And then once people see you're serious about it and they see that you're dedicated, watch who comes to help you. Because people like to jump into a position where if they see somebody working hard, they want to be a part of that. So, and there's a lot of other people out there that are on the same dream and path, but they are also dedicated and consistent. And when you do that, you will find your tribe. You will find people that are like-minded. And don't BS yourself, because when you're doing that, stay dedicated and humble, and your dream will find you. You put in the work.
Wow. That's awesome, Dallas. I want to leave this with you. And again, thank you so much for accepting this invitation to be a part of Exposure Spotlight Magazine Talk Show. We wish nothing but the best for you, and the best is yet to come. Again, I want to leave this with you, which is our motto, is that your voice matters. And trust me, it does. You said a whole lot, and I'm sure our listening audience is going to take heed to that. And thank you so much. Enjoy your holiday and your holidays. So that's including Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So God bless you.
Yes, ma'am. You too. God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving, and save me a plate. I'll talk to you during the holiday while you're watching the system.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Are you a business owner and looking for an opportunity to network and collaborate with other like-minded professionals, executives, and community leaders? Well, look no further. Exposure Spotlight Magazine has launched its business network group, and you're invited to join us where your business can grow. Just look for us on Facebook at Exposure Spotlight Magazine Business Network Group. Are you looking for the key to your castle? Choose a mortgage company that works for you. Ambassador Mortgage. You haven't tried the best until you have tried T. Monique Naturals. Natural and organic hair product-based company, leaving it soft, smooth, and moist. Shop now online at www.tmoniquenaturals.com. If you're looking for ways to strengthen your hair and give your natural the look that will turn heads, shop at tmoniquenaturals.com.
Hip hop kids